So Donald Trump spent his Christmas attacking Nigeria. This is the footage here. You can see from Fox. They say, watch footage shows the U.S. conducting airstrikes in northwest Nigeria on Christmas night, targeting ISIS militants accused of killing Christians. They say accused. The operation was described as decisive. I don't know if we really know, to be honest, with a warning that further strikes would follow if the violence continues. It's probably more like we'll keep shooting as long as Trump keeps tweeting, and he's been tweeting up a storm today, which we'll get into. This is also what's going on. We're not really hiding it anymore. We're chasing the oil around Venezuela. The White House is from Newsmax. So the White House has ordered U.S. forces to focus on enforcing a quarantine of Venezuelan oil. They're really not hiding it. We're going after the oil. So we're attacking Nigeria. We're going after the oil for at least 2 months. At least what this says. Signaling Washington is prioritizing economic pressure over military action. Basically, we're pirates. I don't know what else to say. Isn't it obvious? There's Trump here if you want to see him. He's hanging out for Christmas. Where is this? Probably Mar-a-Lago. President Trump was spotted at Mar-a-Lago with First Lady Melania for Christmas Eve. He's in the ballroom, and one is coming to White House just like it. Oh, great. And the Eric Doherty guy, he's a propagandist person, so I guess he's celebrating that we're getting a ballroom. And if you wonder why your life doesn't get better, or you struggle with your health care, or struggle with paying food, right, paying for food at the grocery store, it's because of stuff like this. Why? Because we're spending all our resources attacking people, building ballrooms. It doesn't really benefit average Americans. And as I said in the last video, how many average people are just walking around going, oh yeah, I think we should definitely spend all our tax dollars on attacking other countries. Oh yeah, we should definitely steal the oil from Venezuela. I mean, is that what people are saying? And I mean, this stuff's whacked out. And just to reiterate, who we're attacking, this is an interesting chart here. It says map the countries with the most oil reserves. So, Trump likes to tweet out bad things about Canada. Look at this. Canada's got a whole bunch of oil reserves. We're currently surrounding, I guess, Venezuela. Look at that. Lo and behold, they got a bunch of oil reserves. And looky there, Nigeria's also got a bunch of oil reserves, right? Theoretically, we could go after Russia, but he doesn't want to mess with his buddy Putin. We did attack Iran. They're on the map. Iraq, that would probably bring back too many bad memories in the USA. And then you got Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and UAE, which, Trump's trying to make friends with. So there's not that many countries you can go after that has oil. And we seem to be checking it right down the list. So you never know who Trump is after next. If I'm looking at this list, I don't know, maybe next one will be Libya. Just a guess, looking at the chart there. This is where we're at. This is also from CBS News. They say, President Trump enjoyed Christmas from his home in Florida, where he put out a flurry of social media posts overnight. Meanwhile, members of his team tried to find a solution to the war between Russia and Ukraine. White House reporter Willie James gives the latest. So basically, Trump has all his staff working on Christmas while he's having phone calls and enjoying Christmas dinner or whatever. And the phone calls thing was stupid. If you guys can watch my last video on that. It is what it is. He then is tweeting about Epstein of all things. And my initial read on this was for a dude who pretends to be, innocent, why do you keep tweeting about it? I mean, if you're, if you have nothing going on and everything is all right, you just release the files and that's it, right? You'd be done with it because you have nothing to do with it. I got nothing to do with this stuff. So, but he's really bent on talking about it. He says, Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein. What? Gave him bundles of money. See, now we're talking about money, sleazeballs. He's always talking about himself with this stuff, Went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed that they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it was fashionable to do so. And it's so weird. The guy's such a... And then he'll go on and on about Russia. He hates the New York Times and a bunch of his greatest hits, right? But it, like I was saying, is if you weren't panicking and worried about this stuff, you would just release files and you'd be done with it, right? And then it's on his conscience, and the way he tweets, it's just his real stuff comes out. Let me show you a contrast. This is what Fox News was covering today. Biden tweeted out a picture. I just want to show you, a contrast of what Biden was doing this Christmas. Joe Biden says, wishing you a peaceful and joyful Christmas Eve filled with love. And there's Biden with his family. Okay. This is what Fox News then wrote. They said, where's Joe? Former President Biden's Christmas family photo draws online criticism for composition. Biden nearly hidden behind Jill Biden, while son Hunter positioned front and center. So this is how Fox News reports this kind of stuff. I just want you to see like how ludicrous it is. Like Biden puts out a picture, it's like, hey, basically Merry Christmas, and then they're criticizing where Biden is in the photo, as if Biden has to be front and center all the time. And that's part of like this whacked out narcissistic, world that, we live in, where we celebrate people who need to have gold ballrooms, be front and center and put their name on everything, like be it planes and buildings and whatnot, right? Not everyone needs to do that. You don't have to be at the center of the photo all the time, For me, I think it's a good thing if you can share the photo with other people. And why are we even talking about photos? I feel like this one is like the brown suit of Fox News, right? This is the latest scandal. Hayden Biden, former President Joe Biden's Christmas family photo sparked online reaction, right? And this is the kind of stuff that Fox News, they act like this, like we're all freaking out about Biden's, Christmas photo. After viewers noted he was barely visible in the image, while his son Hunter stood prominently in the foreground. One commenter joked, took a while to find you, champ. I don't know what to say. It's a Christmas photo. There's Joe Biden. He doesn't need to be in the center all the time. Then this is the Daily Beast, and they were saying, because they counted this thing, I knew he was doing a lot, but I didn't know it was this many. They say President Donald Trump gifted the world with nearly 200 Truth Social posts and counting on Christmas Day. Was it really that many? Where he amplified conspiracy theories about the 2020 election and called for a member of Congress to be deported. Great. So that's what Trump is spending time doing. If you want to read through all 200, you can, and I'm sure there's channels out there reading every single one. But, that's a lot. Representative Massey says, Merry Christmas to you, Mr. President. So I've teamed up with the radical Democrats to expose Democrats. This 4D chess is fun. And he's making a joke because Trump was tweeting about how he doesn't like Massey, whatever, right? That kind of stuff. And this is also what's going on. And I know it's frustrating to go through all this stuff, but I just want to keep you guys informed. And I just always want to make you get clear. You're not alone. I can see the lunacy that Trump is. A lot of people can see it. And I personally think he's a lame duck president. You just got to make it to midterms. We're almost there, guys. And I personally don't think he's going to make it to 4 years, but, remains to be seen. We'll find out. He's just completely whacked out. And the stuff they're trying to do is it's like within the country, outside the country, it's all crazy. And the question I always pose to you is just like, how does this benefit your regular lives? So this is what we're doing right now today. It says from the Washington Post, rather than shuttling detainees around the country to wherever detention space is available, ICE aims to speed up deportations, by renovating industrial warehouses to hold more than 80,000 immigrant detainees at a time, according to draft solutions. So I guess we're basically building internment camps. That's basically what we're doing. And there's nothing really funny about this. I'll just be frank with you guys. I do want to tell you the truth of what's happening. And a big problem, and there's a lot of problems with this stuff, but I'll just say this, a big problem is the way that they're doing it. No due process. So basically kidnap people, throw them in a warehouse and ship them off. That's essentially their plan. It's sick. And when you hear Stephen Miller talk about it, just have a listen for yourself.
Wish we lived in a country where the media gave 1/10 a damn as much about Americans who were murdered and brutalized and savagely killed, beaten to death, as they did about whether illegal aliens that we all agree are illegal aliens should get 1 million days in court and 1 million trials and 1 million this and 1 million that. There's 15 million illegal aliens that violently enter the country. If every one of them got the trial that you're asking for, it would take us centuries to remove them. Centuries. We'd be talking about this in 300-400 years. Their great-great-great-grandchildren would be the ones representing them in court. That's how long it would take. Illegal aliens who come to our country have to be removed, and they have to be removed quickly, and that is an essential component of having something that we like to call a country.
So I think what they're doing, and you can see it for yourself, is they know that time is very, very short, right? Midterms are going to be here, and it's going to just shut down everything that Trump wants to do. So like, okay, fine, let's attack as many black brown people as we possibly can find. Let's skip due process, because who needs that? Let's just put on a bunch of masks, start kidnapping people, throw them into the warehouse, and ship them away. That's literally what they're talking about here, and that's the scariest part. The completely just tearing up the Constitution while you're at it. This is also going on in USA, and I just want to put it in context. Okay, So they always claim that they're so caring about what's going on with Americans, right? And they also make it clear too, they always claim that every, immigrant is violent, whatever. So how do you explain this? This is from Fox News. It says Florida man kills wife, shoots stepdaughter over NFL game. I guess they had an argument and then he'd end himself, right? So if you're going to play the Trumpy type of logic, could you make the argument that NFL game spreads violence and therefore we need to shut down the NFL? Look at it. Look at what we did. We just saw. We just saw 3 people die in USA. You can see right there. The way they count the mass shooting, it has to be at least 4 people. So this wouldn't show up in those type of statistics. But this is life in USA. It's like this. So, or if you want to play that game, well, does that mean everyone in Florida is violent? So we should take away all guns from people in Florida because of this particular instance, right? This is stuff you can play, or look at the person. Like everyone who looks like this person, does that mean that they should all be profiled and we should just arrest anyone who looks like this guy here? I hope you guys understand the inherent problem with the way that they talk. It's awful. And then you got this as well. They shot a driver. It says ICE agents shoot van driver who tried to run them over in Maryland. That's what they claim. So basically, it sounds like there was an arrest attempt made, and then the driver tried to run away, and then they shot him. So just listen to yourself. This is the description.
At about 10:51 this morning, Anne Arundel officers responded to the 500 block of West Court in Glen Burnie, right here behind me, for a shooting involving ICE ERO agents. No members of the Anne Arundel County Police Department were involved in the shooting. I just want to stress that. Based on the preliminary information that we received, it indicates that ICE agents were conducting a detail. They approached a white van. That van attempted to run agents over. Then ICE agents fired at that vehicle. That vehicle accelerated, coming to rest behind me in a wooded area behind these homes. There was an individual in that vehicle that was struck by gunfire. That individual was transported to an area hospital with what is being described, he's being described as being in stable condition. There was another individual outside of that vehicle that sustained minor injuries and also went to an area hospital.
So that's their description. I just wanted to hear it right from them. And then Stephen Miller says vehicle attacks on ICE officers are domestic terrorism, and they show the car, right? And so the way that they see it, I mean, just hearing from them, they tried to pull someone over. So I think we can agree on some of these facts. Looks like the person tried to make a run for it. I can understand those facts as well. And then they shot at the person. I don't see anywhere where it says that the person is shooting at the ICE agents or whatever, right? I mean, this is, so basically, think of it this way. Just think of it, because we don't know all the details. I want to make that clear. But just think of it this way. What if there's no due process and it's like, oh, you're brown, I'm going to come arrest you. And you're just like, whoa, I see what you're doing with throwing people in warehouses. I'm getting out of here, right? So that you try to drive off. The ICE officers will then write in the report, oh, he tried to, hurt us, kill us with the car, right? Or the van in this situation. So we had to shoot at him. And I just hope you guys understand how this plays out. Just these are the kind of situations where you just can imagine in your mind, like, how do these things play out, And if you escalate violence, you're going to get this kind of stuff. I have not heard of anyone in like this kind of situation say, again, I don't think anyone in the van shot at the officer. I don't think so. It's what I read it right here. I'm showing you guys what it is. And the way they act like is like the way they try to portray it is this guy's like driving around in the van trying to hit people. It's from what my understanding is they tried to arrest him, he tried to make a run, and they shot him. This is also what's going on. And I just want to make it clear, right, the importance of due process. ICE deported a U.S. natural-born citizen for less than 10 days after detaining her. This was never about legal immigrants. It's always about brown people. And I read the description of this article. I'll read it. It says, a family in Maryland is trying to find a woman arrested by ICE whose attorneys say is an American citizen, but the government insists is Mexican, okay? Agents arrested Dulce Consuelo Diaz Morales, 22, on December 14th in Baltimore while she was heading home with her sister. Despite her saying she was born in USA, she was held in ICE custody after failing to prove her citizenship. The agency said attorneys rushed her to get a court order, keep her in Maryland, but the Department of Homeland Security moved her to Louisiana anyway. And the way that the Trump people try to make it, they just like arrest you, may not give you a proper time or way to prove you're a citizen and try to ship you out as quickly as possible. And we've seen them do this many, many times. That's why you need due process. Because just for example, say you live in USA right now, say you're in Baltimore, you're just walking down the street and ICE comes and arrests you, right? And there's like, prove you're a citizen. It's like, do you carry your birth certificate and passport around with you? Is that what you do, right? What if you're out for a jog? You got no ID on you, because it happens. Like, you're just out for a jog and whatever, right? And the problem with this stuff is like it's a pattern of the way that they're doing things, the same way that Trump decides to attack other countries. So all this stuff is very, very sketchy what they're doing. And I understand we have MAGA Republicans watch the channel. I just ask you just to have honest and real conversations about this stuff, right? I look at what people say. I'm looking for evidence also. And also just, thinking about all these actions, do they improve your life? Because basically what we're doing right now, we're just spending a lot of money and resources basically doing violent acts. I don't know else the way to say it. I mean, you can see what's going on. And I understand this is a very sensitive topic. So we have a lot of emotions going on with this stuff. I just want due process. I don't think there's any hurry with any of these kind of things, but they do because they know their time is running out. So that's my thoughts on this. I'd like to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.